Welcome back to Liquid Lunch. I'm Maggie Vandenberg, filling in today for John Tobacco, who is on Newsmax right now, filling in for John Bachman. So if you want to catch John, he's over there on Newsmax. But if you want to stay with us, we've got a great show coming at you. Right now, I'm very excited to introduce our first guest named Todd Benson. He is the author of a book called Why the Latest Migrant Caravan and the Ones After Matter to the U.S. Southern Border Security. He is a political columnist and commentator, so we have him on here to discuss what is going on at our southern border. Todd, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate the attention.
Yeah, so this is something that has been very close to my heart for a couple years now. Was a big advocate of the border wall when President Trump talked about the border wall and wanting to build that and secure our southern border. And also, I think it's something that doesn't get nearly enough attention, or if it does get attention, it's not reported on accurately. I made a little film about what was going on at our southern border. I went down there to work with some of the guys who were working on the Independent People's Wall, where they actually went out. They crowdfunded a bunch of money from the American people to go out and to actually build a section of border wall down in El Paso, Texas. And I have to say, you speak to the people down there on both sides of the wall, both in Juarez, Mexico, and also in El Paso, Texas. And people say, thank you so much. We need this. There were hundreds of people every single day coming across our southern border, oftentimes smuggling children, smuggling drugs, bringing in illegal firearms. And it was like nothing was there. There was no border security. People could just easily walk across. So I guess what's really your message or your take on things, and what do you want the American people to know?
First, we have to recognize that Trump's deterrence enforcement policies down at the border caused a significant decline in the number of illegal migrants who were washing over 2018, 2019, in what was regarded at the time as a pretty significant surge, a crisis, actually. There were a number of policies that Trump put into place. More recently, it's been helped by the fact that Mexico and Central America have implemented pandemic-related border closures against the caravans, and Mexico put its National Guard on its southern border at about 50 roadblocks to enforce, even before the pandemic, against Central American population transfers, which is really what was happening at that time. Almost 1 million Central Americans got inside of about a 5 or 6 month period in late 2018, 2019. What I call the Biden effect, sorry for the quotation marks, is going to animate the populations of Central America to come back over the borders as soon as the pandemic closures end, as soon as that wanes. And the main reason is because the Biden campaign had messaged loud and clearly over and over and over again that they're going to essentially open the border. There's going to be no penalty, no deportations, no detention, no wait in Mexico. Chief among the promises was a wide amnesty for anybody who is illegally present in the United States. And whether or not the president-elect follows through with any of these promises is almost beside the point. It's the inspiration that the migrants or aspiring migrants, feel by those kind of promises that will bring them in very large numbers during the course of 2021.
Yeah.
It probably won't happen immediately, but as the pandemic eases and as the Biden administration gets into office and starts to dismantle these things, the migrants will come in large numbers. And it's not just me predicting this. The Department of Homeland Security, in its most recent threat assessment in October, also predicted a significant surge at the southern border.
Wow. Well, I just want to make it clear. I am one of the people that is still fighting. I'm still in the fight, and I still believe that I will not accept a Biden presidency. At this point, until he, if Joe Biden actually puts his hand on that Bible and they swear him in, I think we need to do everything we can to try to prevent that. But let's say it does happen. Let's say Joe Biden does force his way in there, and he, steals his way into the White House. I think we're going to see a lot of problems. And I think this issue at our southern border is such a mess because, it's funny. You look back at Bernie Sanders' policy, and I think it was 2015, even he admitted that we can't have a welfare state and open borders because what's going to happen is all of the people around the world are going to come here knowing that they can sign up for benefits that will benefit them. And it's crazy though, because you look at like what's going to happen, right? It doesn't take a genius to figure it out. And it's frightening. And I just wonder, how is it that these politicians can push for something like open borders, which is so, it's obviously not America first. It's other people first who want to come here illegally. It puts even legal immigrants in the back of the line. How is it that you think, just real quick, we've got about 2 minutes left, but messaging wise, why is it that the Democratic Party or people on the left think that it's a good policy idea to move towards these open borders?
I don't have a good answer for that. It strikes me as utterly bizarre that anybody would ever argue that there be completely open borders and that anybody and everybody in the world can just come in at their choosing when they choose, and to just be able to come into the United States. I don't know what that is. I'm sure that a good PhD candidate could delve into the psychology, the weird psychology behind that. Whether or not the Biden administration enters office, and if they enter office, it doesn't matter. It's too late. The grapevine is very sensitive in Central America and really around the world. They have heard the messaging. They will come as soon as they can. We've already had a caravan make an attempt to get past the pandemic border closure in Honduras, and they failed. I'm telling you, as soon as that breaks down, we will see more caravans pushing and testing. And the second one gets up here, there'll be more that follow. And I think we're going to see another crisis. And it's not just Central Americans. There are Middle Easterners. There are people from South Asia, from countries of terrorism interest and concern, who are also in the pipeline. I just wrote about how they're bottled up in Panama and Mexico. Pakistanis, Syrians, Somalis, Egyptians, you name it, they are all in the pipeline waiting to come. And those are a national security threat that I don't think the Biden administration is prepared to handle at the border.
One second, Todd. Todd, would you mind hanging over for after the break? I'd like to ask you another couple questions.
Sure.
All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us. We're going to have Todd Benson on the other side of the commercial break, and we will be right back.
We can keep them on if you want. The breaks, we still have 2 minutes. We were just getting out because you had to go on Newsmax.
Oh, my goodness. Todd, I actually have to take a longer break. I'm so sorry. I totally forgot. You absorbed me into what we were speaking about. I have to do another hit on another show. Do you mind hanging out, or can we bring you back?
Yeah, I can hang out. I've got plenty to do here. If you want to just keep me on, whatever you want. I'm always happy to.
Actually, we have another person at 4. Maybe we'll bring you back at the end of the hour. How about we do that if you're around in about 25 minutes?
Yeah, let me know.
Okay, thanks, Todd. Sorry about that. That was great. You were so interesting. I love talking about Border Patrol.
Well, I can talk about special interest aliens, people coming from the Middle East all day long.
Okay.
That's what my book is about.
We're going to come right back. We're going to come right back. Okay, I got to go. You guys cut this. I'm going to jump on my Newsmax hit. All right, thanks, Todd.